Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Jade Alberts, and I'm a small business strategist, influencer, and my passion is helping small businesses grow and succeed. I started, sharing knowledge and telling stories is why I started the Telling It Like It Is Facebook Live. And it is a very interactive one. So if you have any questions during the show, please just ask them. Krista and I will answer them. And if you're seeing this on a social media platform after, again, don't be scared to put down your questions. We will reach out and we will respond to them. Today's Telling It Like It Is guest is Krista Malden of Community Now magazine. Krista, thank you for joining me. And how are you today?
Good. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Oh, no, that's great. I know we met at one of the Rainforest functions, and I'm a big supporter of your magazine, and I love what it's doing. So I'm excited about getting your story out there and sharing your magazine with the world.
Thank you.
So I guess we'll jump right in here, and I'll do a brief little introduction, and then we will start. So Krista is a mother of two beautiful girls, a jazz drummer by trade and a journalist by heart, and a passionate builder of community. Whether she's crafting great stories about Calgary and its surrounding areas or teaching music to her students, Krista is always striving to connect all members of her community. She believes that storytelling, networking provide the best resources that allow a community to grow and thrive. Her two favorite quotes are, "It takes a village," which is an African proverb, and "There's no intelligent accomplishment until it's linked with purpose," which is by James Allen. I'm a big quote fan myself. I have it one on my computer. I look at it at least 2 or 3 times a week. So I love seeing quotes. So why did you start the community magazine? What drove you to start it?
Through all the networking I do and conversations, I realized that we don't have a storytelling platform that connects all the different industries. And everybody was looking at business and community and education as separate industries and not connecting them together. And really, they each drive each other. So as I talked to everybody through the community, I just gathered a whole bunch of writers and said, we need to do this. And then innovation is driving everything right now. So we need to be talking about where it's going and what it's doing. So this gives the community a platform to do that.
No, absolutely. And that's a great answer. And the one thing I want to expand on a little bit, it's all industries is what your magazine is focusing on, not just the one main industry in Alberta. So is that really kind of how you're going to move forward?
Yes, and as we connect the different industries, it allows them to work together. So, for example, education is going to create all the next innovators, leaders. So they need to be working with the businesses to see what's going on, and we need to be mentoring education and talking about the different industries because people don't know what's going to be available for jobs in the next 10 years because innovation is moving so fast. And same with all the not-for-profits. We need to be connecting them to all the different businesses and education as well. But
no, absolutely. No, absolutely. And that's as we'll get into that a little bit more here about not-for-profit. So I guess the goals of the magazine, and I know you say you want to reach all industry. How are you going to who are you connecting with? How are you doing this? How are you going to, achieve those goals?
I'm connecting with a bunch of different networking groups. So one is the Rainforest, which I'm a big supporter of, and as well as the education industry going through the schools and different levels of education. So I'm connecting to all the different educators and professors. And then within the community, I'm reaching out to every group that I possibly can so that we're telling stories every day, nonstop, about the different industries. And then I just keep going until I get more people. So it's just networking nonstop.
No, and I mean, networking is so important. I mean, in today's world, how are you finding the educators? I guess that's kind of the first I've heard of that. So how are they contributing to the magazine?
So I have 3 actually that write for the magazine. One is a teacher at a middle school partly middle school. It goes from K to 8, and she has her students writing for us. So they come up with a different challenge every month and they talk about the challenge that they do. And they actually challenge their whole school to come up with projects that use recycling and creativity and innovation and mix it all together. And she's been fabulous. So they help write and they help send out the magazine as well. And then I have a founder of a private school who also writes. And she doesn't just write about education. She also talks about different things that are happening in the community and the importance of that. And then I have a professor, a longtime professor, that's also writing about business. And she's talking about business from a personal standpoint as well. So you could be sitting around and having a coffee or beer with someone, and maybe that's where your business idea comes from. And then the next step, what's the next step to growing the business once you have the idea? So it's really interesting because all the educators are really intermingled with the community and business. So it's been interesting with the educators.
No, absolutely. That's very neat. And I mean, I've read all 4 episodes, and that's one of the things I love is seeing the young people get involved in the magazine, and how you're promoting the young people and the education and getting them involved at an early age. How are they finding it? How are they liking it?
They love it. They get a chance to talk about what they're working on. They get a chance to talk about business, which we don't think young people can talk about business yet, but they have so many ideas. And then we also get to be there to mentor them through their journey. So they get to meet a bunch of people that they don't know, and they get to be inspired, and they get to engage with the community. It's fabulous. They love it.
No, absolutely. And I know I actually ended up sitting down with one of the young and meeting one of them, Sophia out of Edmonton, and just a fantastic young little girl. And some of the stuff that she's coming up with is she's the same age as our oldest daughter, and I'm just flabbergasted by the way her minds work, and I can relate because I have my girls help me out with some marketing and things like that, and getting them out into business at a young age is such an important, and I imagine the educators are really behind that.
Yeah, they are, and I think we need to engage with young people more, and we need to encourage them more instead of being like, oh, the millennials, or oh, this generation. We need to start going, yay, because they really are tomorrow. So we need to give them the tools and resources. And one of the best ways to do that is by including them on what we're doing.
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. 100% agree with that. So I guess when people are out there and, they read their magazine, and we'll have some links in the comment section here below where you can click on the magazine. How can people help you get the word out, or how do they support the magazine? What are you looking for from the community of people that aren't aware of the Community Now magazine?
To share the magazine, of course. So share it with everybody. It's online, and then we will print it 4 times a year as well. But to share it with everybody, to read the different sections, there is something in the magazine for everybody. And I mean, I had one person say they love the innovation section, but they don't want to read this section. And that's okay, because they will get there, and everybody has something that they like in there. So it's pretty interesting. And then I'm also always looking for advertisers, of course, but it is specific to the magazine. So I am looking for people to advertise and market their companies, but it's also a partnership if you're advertising. So if you're an advertiser, you're to help with events and get involved with the events, and also get involved with storytelling, and to tell me when you have events and when you're doing something great in the community or have a new product, so that I can talk about it as well.
Oh, and there's nothing more important than getting out there, sharing your stories, networking, and being able to connect with people across different industries, not just O&G. And that's one of the reasons why I like the Rainforest and their purpose behind it, and the support that you are giving them is fantastic. I guess we're moving into the next question. You're having a big launch next Wednesday at the Craft Beer Market, downtown Calgary, from 6 to 9 p.m. The tickets are $30. It's going to be for all proceeds are going to mental health. I would like to, talk a little bit about that. Why you decided to do the mental health, fundraiser and the launch at the same time. I really want to make sure that, I know we have about 70 or 80 tickets sold. I can't remember, but we want to get a lot of people out there. So tell us some more.
So part of Community Now magazine, we're storytelling about what's going on in the community, business, education. And I'm always saying we need to talk to people more. We need to have more FaceTime with each other, not just be online or on our phones. So a part of my mission is to be able to do that, to hold the networking and the events, so that we are bringing the community together, and I'm doing what I'm telling other people to do. So doing the launch, and the mental health event is our first event, which will be December 12th. Mental health is a really big issue, and it's something we need to talk about every single day, not just once a year and not just here and there. It needs to be an ongoing conversation and included in everything that we do. So for the first big event, it will be mental health for sure. And we'll hold this one every year in December.
Oh no, that's, and I know Peter LaFontaine writes a little column in there, and he's been doing a lot on that, and and there might be a little talking about some of the mental health stuff that they're looking at, and doing the profit for purpose type mentality that is out there, and we're trying to get into some of the economy today in Alberta. So I guess if someone is going to take something away from coming to this, and they're saying, I've got lots of things to go to. It's Christmas time, that type of stuff.
This is a really simple event. It's come down, come meet some people in the city and listen to some amazing speakers. Peter LaFontaine is speaking. We have Deanna Burkhart speaking. Brian, our 2018 Music Industry Person of the Year, speaking as well. So there's some amazing speakers and resources available for mental health. And then there's some great auction items as well, and all of that money will go towards the Mental Health Association. It's a simple, fun networking event for everybody to celebrate and learn.
Oh no, that's awesome. I know I will be there. I will again put a few posts out over that up until next Wednesday about it, with a link to the Eventbrite, so you can buy your tickets. Again, it's only $30 and
$40 now.
$40. Well, my bag. But it's still, for a good cause to come out there, meet a lot of people, and and share your story and listen to other people's stories is priceless. So I guess to kind of wrap up our interview here, I'd like asking one question. And I imagine you've had some, starting a magazine from scratch. It can't be easy. So you probably had a few struggles. So what would be one piece of advice that you would be giving to small businesses or entrepreneurs that are starting up that's kind of close to your heart?
I would say make sure you have a really supportive team. Or surround yourself with other entrepreneurs. Like, it's so important to have people that you can turn to brainstorm with or ask questions, or when you're having a day that you feel defeated, because you will have them, to have those people to turn to go, what do I do next? Or just to have someone to take you for a coffee to say, this is part of starting a new business, so that you always have the support. And it's usually other entrepreneurs that will understand. And I've been really lucky with the Rainforest. I can go there and I always know I'll find someone who understands what I'm going through. Same with you, and same with everybody else that's been there to help me get through this. It's all about the support that you have.
Oh, your support is so important. And I can't even tell you how many times I've called on Rob, my mentor, and said, Rob, am I doing something wrong? Am I rocking down the wrong path here? And having someone to give you, honest feedback is priceless. So that is, as long as you listen to it.
Yes. That's right.
That is the key. So again, I really thank you, Krista, for coming on today and sharing your story. The Community Now magazine is a wonderful piece. It will be in the comments, and I highly recommend that everybody come out next Wednesday, 6 p.m., downtown Calgary, craft beer market, spend 3 hours for a good purpose, a good cause, meet a lot of meet some new contacts, and let's grow our community and our ecosystem outside of just oil and gas, and let's make sure that everybody is aware of all the great small businesses and tech industries that are really starting to thrive in this city.
Thank you so much for having me.
Excellent. Well, that wraps up today's interview. Again, thank you again, Krista, for coming on. Next week, we've got 2 episodes left. As you can see, I got my Christmas tree behind us, and I'd like to thank Kim for that. She gave me that idea last week, and it's no 12-foot tree like she had, but at least it's something. So again, thank you, Krista, for coming on, and we will see everybody next week.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.